8 in the evening. This is potentially the latest I've ever filmed a video. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. In this video I'm going to be filming a full face testing out Technic makeup. So Technic is a brand that I feel like I have tried like a couple of products from them over the years. In fact, one of the products I have actually tried before, and that's their super fine translucent powder. I did try this last year at some point. I seem to remember liking it. So I picked it up just in case the other powder I got was too dark, and spoiler alert, it is. But we'll get onto that later in the video. But yeah, so obviously they're like a super affordable brand. Like, they're cheaper than Makeup Revolution. Like, this is the cheapest of the cheap when it comes to makeup, I would say. I wanted to see if there was some hidden gems in here. Yeah, so for a full face, and I have got like pretty much everything. I've got about like 15 products in total, I think. I think it was like £50, £60. You know what, I'm going to go and just double check that. So my total order was about £80 something, but then I got a 25% discount. So altogether it was £63 and 25p, including delivery. And I got I got 17 products in total. So £60 for 70 products, in my opinion, is very affordable. I really hope that we do find some gems here. I'm not expecting to love every product. Just because from first impressions there are some issues I've noticed with things, but we'll get onto that when we get to it. But I am hoping that I find some like hidden gems here. Right, the first thing I'm going to try out, I'm a bit scared of. This is the Technic Instant Bronzing Face Gel. It looks like this, and I don't know, it's just sort of like a spontaneous thing I decided to buy, but it is a spray. And I'm pretty sure you're supposed to just like put it like on your face before makeup. Let me just read what it says. It says, apply evenly to face, wash hands after use. If product enters the eyes, rinse well with warm water. Do not apply to broken or irritated skin. Bronzing face gel can be washed off. Discontinue use if irritation occurs. I'm guessing this is sort of like a self-tanning thing then for your face. But I'm kind of terrified. And I remember like when I sprayed this for the first time, it was just like a giant blob of bronze. I'm as like pale as a ghost, so that's kind of one of the reasons I was intrigued by this, because I don't really want to ever fake tan. When you spray it, it literally is just like a brown blob on your hands. Let me just see what it's like when you blend it out. So yeah, obviously it does like, yeah, it blends out and it goes to like a kind of bronzy colour. But yeah, this might be difficult to spray because it does just come out in like a blob like that, so I guess I'll just do this and then blend it in. Kinda looks like blood. Okay, guess I'll just rub this in all over my face then, and maybe bring it down my neck a bit as well if there's any left. I'm gonna use my sponge to kind of pat it into my skin, get rid of any streaks. I mean, it's definitely made my face way more bronzy. It feels like a little bit kind of streaky, like the way it kind of blends in, it goes kind of patchy. But I mean, it might look alright once you've got products on the top of it. Feels a bit sticky. I'm not sure about that. That's an interesting product. Over the top of that, I'm going to go in with this product. This is the Technic Strobe FX Cream Catching Rays, and it's a highlighting cream. I thought I'd just kind of use this like as a sort of glowy primer. We'll see what happens. Ooh, that is glowy. That is pretty. So that is super glowy, which is exactly what I wanted from it. Feels quite like tacky, so I'd want to let that sit on my face for a bit before I went on with any foundation. But I am going to do my eyeshadow before I do any other base products, so that's okay. That will have some time to sink in. So I'm just going to quickly go off camera and do a eyeshadow base. Okay, so I've concealed and set my eyelids. I've got 3 eyeshadow products to try out. So I've first got an eyeshadow palette. This is the Technic Eyeshadow Treasury, which they have a few palettes like this. This is quite a like cool toned purpley one, which I went for these sorts of colours just because I don't feel like I have a lot of kind of cool toned purpley sort of palettes, so I thought I'd go for this one. But they do have lots of different eyeshadow palettes. I also got 2 of these. These are the Technic The Glitz Liquid Glitter eyeshadows, and Make Me a Misser used to recommend these a lot like a couple months ago, so that made me want to pick them up. So I got the gold one and the silver one. They do look absolutely stunning. So Because this is quite a cool tone palette, I feel like I should use the silver one just because I feel like that will kind of match more cool tone colours. It does also come with a brush which actually isn't too bad compared to the normal sorts of brushes you get with eyeshadow palettes. I don't think I'll use it today, but I will give it a go. We'll start off light, and I'm going to go in with this kind of like taupey, it's like a light purpley slash browny grey colour. Quite a nice cool tone colour. I'm going to start with that one and just kind of put it above the crease. So I'm going to go in with this light purple shade here, a little bit deeper than the one we started with. And I'm going to go for my crease of that one as well. Not the most pigmented, not going to lie. So let's try and deepen this up a bit. I'm going to go in with this kind of like bluey grey sort of colour. This one up here. And I'm going to put that one for the crease as well. All the ones I've used so far are mattes, by the way. This palette is mostly mattes. I'd say it's like 2/3 mattes, 1/3 shimmers. I'm going to go in with the matte black colour at the end here and just put that in the outer third, and then I think I'm going to cut my crease. Right, so I'm just going to go off camera and cut my crease. Right, so I have cut my crease. What shade shall we use? I'm going to go in with this metallic one over the cut crease. It's sort of kind of a cross between a bronzy, silvery colour. And then I think I'll layer on that glitz eyeshadow on the top of it. So far that's my favourite shade. Like, that is stunning. That is really pigmented. Like, the mattes haven't really impressed me too much. Like, I kind of like the sort of pastel vibe they give, but not the most pigmented mattes really, well, the ones that I've tried anyway. But that shimmer is absolutely stunning. That is really pigmented. I mean, I would happily leave that eyeshadow on its own, but I will, because I've got it, put a bit of this, the glitz eyeshadow, the silver one, over the top of that. I guess I'll just go straight in with a doe foot and then blend it in with my fingers. I'd probably use a brush when applying that in the future because I've made a right mess of it, but it does look really pretty and metallic. So I'm just going to kind of get some of the shades I've already used just to sort of blend this a bit. Isn't my best eyeshadow look, but it's going to have to do for now. I like that glitz thing. I like the metallic shade, and I feel like the blue, like the kind of grey blue colour, I think worked quite well, but I feel like some of the other matte shades were a bit lackluster. I will have to play around with the palette some more, obviously, because I've only used a handful of shades. So I'm going to move on to some mascara now. Normally I would put a black eyeliner in my waterline at this point, but I didn't get one from Technic. I could only see one, and it was like one of those kind of really cheap kohl looking ones, but it didn't really look appealing to me, so I thought I'd skip it. So I'll just do this makeup look without kohl liner, I guess, in my waterlines. Then the mascara that I've got to try out is the Technic Mega Lash Mega Volumizing Mascara, which looks like this. They do have quite a few mascaras. Don't know what drew me to this one really, but quite a big chunky brush. But I'm going to go ahead and just do my top lashes to start with. Right, okay, so that is the lashes. I mean, for a really cheap mascara, that's honestly not that bad at all. Like, there's definitely some volume there. It's not my favourite. I've definitely had more volumizing mascaras than this, but I mean, like, it's really not that bad at all. Like, you can definitely, like, notice my lashes. Like, I mean, it's pretty good, actually. Definitely a lot better than the collection one that I just tried in my last first impressions. This is, like, way better than that, and it's, like, probably cheaper than that one. So, yeah, for a really cheap mascara, that's actually pretty good, but it's not going to be my new go-to favourite. Like, I have found more volumizing ones than this, but it's really not that bad at all. Right, so let's move back onto our base. And our base products is where I start to get slightly concerned. So the foundation that I brought is the Technic Matte Mineral Foundation foundation in the shade Buff, which looks like this. They had a couple of foundations to choose from, but I went for this one. I think this was the one that had the best colour range, but the colour range was really not very good. It's like about 8 shades, I think. So really not very good at all, and I'm pretty sure this is the lightest shade Buff. Well, at least I thought it was the lightest shade, but this is very dark. That's the colour on my hand there. That is really orangey. that is just not the one for me. I'll pop it on my neck so you can see it against the colour of my neck. Like, that is it's like kind of peachy orangey. It's not the colour for me. Even with this weird tan thing on my face, I'm not digging that colour. But I do want to see if the formula is any good, so I will just mix it with some white foundation, as I would do with any foundation that's a bit dark for me. So I'm going to go in with my Nip and Fab white foundation mixer and just mix these two together on the back of my hand. Quite like a moussey formula, this foundation. Right, I've mixed it. It still doesn't look the right colour, but it's gonna have to do. The undertones are kind of like peachy pinky as well, which is not ideally what I want. I'm more olivey yellow. Nonetheless, we're just gonna pop this foundation on, see what the finish is like, see how much coverage it gives. Okay, so that foundation, it feels very kind of like matte, like it dries quite fast, but I mean, I'm not so sure about this one. The coverage is like pretty good, like I would say it's like a good medium coverage. But there is some weird texture going on my face. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it's the primer and the bronzing oil thing. So I will try it again without those, but from first impressions, there's some weird texture on my face. It's just not sitting very nicely at all. It's also like going a little bit patchy in places. Like I've just got this random patch, like God knows if my camera will pick up on it here, where it's just not blending very nicely at all. Oh my god, I've never seen a foundation look like this on my skin. It's really not very nice. I feel like most foundations work okay with me, but I'm really not having a good experience with this one. It's looking kind of patchy. It almost looks like it's sort of separating in areas as well. I'm gonna get as close to the camera as I can just so you can really kind of hopefully see what I'm talking about. I don't know how well my camera and my lights will show it, but definitely just a weird texture with this foundation. I'm just going to say off the bat, I don't like this foundation. I don't really hate or dislike a lot of foundations. I find most foundations I like, just some more than others, but this one I really just don't. Like, it's just not pretty looking at all. I mean, we're going to continue though, of course. I did get a concealer. So this one is the Technic Healer Concealer, and it's in the shade Light. This had 2 shades, which, I mean, 2 shades for a concealer was not ideal. And again, it looks like the colour is going to be a bit dark for me, but I mean, this base ain't going well anyway, so does it really matter? Also, the texture of this one's quite weird, and that is quite like silicone-y, like it's like sort of like silicone primers is what the texture of this concealer feels like. The shade is a little bit lighter than the foundation, but it's still very like orangey looking. I can't be asked to mix this because this isn't going well anyway, but I'm just gonna pop a bit of this under my eyes, on my nose, and on any blemishes on my face. I will try out this concealer without this foundation on, because obviously I feel like once you're off to a bad base, everything that goes on top of it probably ain't gonna work so well. Definitely looks lighter than the foundation, so I'll give it something for that. I feel like on a normal base this probably wouldn't look like the best colour. You know what, that concealer actually isn't too bad. Like, it actually does have some nice coverage, and it's got a way nicer finish than the foundation. So we'll try that one out again on a different base, because I feel like that's actually got some potential to be quite nice. Like, it's sat pretty well under my eyes, so I don't know, I feel like that concealer might actually be pretty decent. just definitely a no to the foundation. So on to setting powders. So as I mentioned earlier, I did pick up the Superfine translucent powder, which I have tried before. Like, I couldn't remember too much about it, but I remember the colour being good, and I remember that the formula I think was okay. But yeah, it is a very pale, like yellow toned powder, so it would work quite well for me. I did also get the Technic Colour Fix water resistant pressed powder in the shade Porcelain, which I think is the lightest one, but this just looks kind of orangey, really. This I mean, maybe on this base because we already look kind of orangey, but I mean, I might as well try it out because my base is already too dark, so we'll go in with the powder that I haven't used before. I guess I might as well just use this powder all over then. Wow, that's even darker than the base products I had on already. The undertones are another planet to what my actual undertones are. We'll definitely need to try the Superfine one because that is definitely way more my colouring than this. It's just a shame because I feel like the formula of that powder does have potential, like it's mattified really well, the finish isn't too bad. So maybe if you can find the shade that works for you, I'd recommend trying it, but I mean, if you're a pale person like me, no, I think I'd probably just stay away from the Technic based products altogether until they can improve their shade range. But even if they improved this mineral matte one, I still wouldn't recommend it because I didn't like how this sat on the skin. But the concealer and the powder formula wise, I feel like not too bad for a cheap price. We will move on to some cheek products. So for bronzer, I actually decided to get a palette. So this is the Technic Colour Fix bronze palette, and it does look really nice. There's definitely some shades that have some potential to work for my skin tone in here. So it's mostly mattes. There's one shimmery one in there, but yeah, the colours look quite nice. I think I should be able to get a few of these shades to work for me. One of them's actually kind of red tone, so that could potentially be a blush. I might try that out. I think this shade here is the one I'm gravitating towards. That looks like it will be good for my pale skin. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do in this base because this isn't my normal colouring, but generally I feel like that's the shade I'd go for. Yeah, I will use that shade that I just pointed out, this one here. I feel like it's the lightest bronzy shade, so I'm just going to get my bronzer brush and pop some of that one on in my cheek area. Formula wise, that seems pretty nice. Came out, you know, hasn't come out patchy or anything. We'll just blend it a little bit. Yeah, seems to blend pretty well. Obviously, I can't really say too much about that colour just because this isn't my normal complexion, but I think it should work okay. Yeah, I actually quite like the formula of that, so we'll see on a normal base. So I'm actually going to go in with one of the shimmery ones just to kind of make it a little bit more glowy. Why not while we're here? Yeah, that's got a nice bit of glow in it. That's what we like. Might as well go in with this reddy toned one at the end here and just pop a bit of that on my cheeks as a blush. That one seems quite pigmented, so we'll try and be careful there. Yeah, that one's pretty pigmented. Fuck, that's too much. Okay, I put way too much of that on. Oh my god, things are going wrong. Okay, that's too much blush. Overall, I think that palette does have some potential to be quite nice for cheeks. So for highlighter, I've got two products and they've both swatched really nicely, so I'm quite excited about these. So the first one is the Technic Get Gorgeous highlighting powder. They're both the Get Gorgeous ones, just in different shades. So this one is Galaxy Girl, which is a sort of bluey, silvery, slightly purpley toned one. Does look absolutely stunning, and they do have some decent pigmentation to them. And then the other one is Virtuoso, and this one's like a straight up silver coloured highlighter. Again, that one, oh, that one seems really nice. Yeah, so these both look really pretty. I guess I'll just do like half and half of this. So we'll go in with Virtuoso, the silver one, first, and I'm just going to pop this on one cheekbone. Oh wow, that's really nice. Holy crap. Holy smokes, that's a pigmented highlighter. Okay, I was not expecting that level of pigment. That is insane. These are like £3, so. Right, just getting the product off my brush, and then we'll go in with Galaxy Girl on the other side. Okay, and that one. Hello. Okay, these highlighters are insane. I mean, like, it has a bit of a cast to it. Like, when I'm just like looking forward, it looks a bit odd. I'd maybe go in with a slightly lighter hand of that. But then again, obviously my base is darker, so I feel like if I'm more pale, it probably wouldn't have the same intensity, like that cast on my face. I'm just going to go back in with the Silver One Virtuoso though and just finish off highlighting. This one is very intense though, so I mean it is a little bit like intimidatingly intense. I feel like I'd really like this silver one though on my normal base color. I feel like that would make a really nice eyeshadow as well. In the inner corner as well, that would be amazing. I'm gonna have to blend it a bit because like Jesus Christ, that's intense. Yeah, if you're looking for a super blinding like holographic highlighter, these are the ones. So moving on to eyebrows, I brought 2 products. So the first thing is the Technic Brow Amazing Eyebrow Gel, which is one of these sort of gels. It has like that sort of one, so like a kind of painty sort of wand. And then it also comes with a spoolie to brush through the product. And this one's in the shade Black Brown, which I think is the darkest one. I also got an eyebrow pencil. This is a Technic Brow Boost Eyebrow Sculpting Pencil, which has this sort of pencil on one end. This is like almost black, that colour, which I mean, maybe a tiny bit darker than what I'm going for, but we'll make it work. It does also have like a cream colour thing on the other end, but I don't think I'll use that. It looks kind of orangey, so I guess I'll start with just brushing through my brows. I'm just going to try like dipping my spoolie into it. Oh my god, that picked up so much product. I mean, that does kind of work. It just annoys me that they won't just pop the spoolie on the lid. I feel like that would just be so much more effective. Okay, there's a lot of excess on this. There might be too much product on this, but I'm going to try and lightly brush that through. See, I don't know the ideal way they want you to use this. Okay, it's splodging a bit. Okay, this is looking like a disaster. What have I done? Things have gone badly and I don't know how to save it. It's just the formula of it is so like kind of drying, like it just clings to all your brow hairs and then it kind of just looks splodgy. It's just not, the formula is just not great, and I guess the tool to use wasn't great either, so I don't know how they ideally want you to use that. But the collection one that I tried in my first impressions works so much better, and that's a similar sort of concept. But like, look, what have I done? Look at this. What have I done? I don't even know how to fix this. I'm gonna do this, I guess. That looks shockingly bad. I guess I'll kind of try and use the pencil to, I want to say fix it, but this ain't gonna fix it. Obviously, I'll have to try this pencil out on its own, but let's see what it does. And now, there's like, oh, there's just another splodge here. Isn't going well. Okay, I can't comment on that pencil too much. It's definitely not really helped the situation, but oh, that looks so bad. At least I can now title this video Gone Wrong. The last things we have to try out are lip products, so I'm just gonna go and finish my eyes off camera because I'm just getting stressed out right now. Right, so we've finished off our eyes and oh my god, this makeup does not look nice. I would never in a million years leave the house looking like this. Like, no makeup is better than bad makeup. Does anyone else agree? No makeup, bad makeup, any day. Any day. But anyway, we'll finish off with some lip products, why not? First thing I've got is the Technic Ombre Lip Pencil in the shade Nude. This is a double-ended lip liner. So you've got this shade, which is kind of like a pinky nude colour. That's that one there. Formula seems quite nice. Glided onto my hand quite smoothly. We'll see what it's like on the lips. And then you've got this side, which is a more pale, that is more of a like pale pink colour. I mean, it's not really going to go with the other lip product that I got, but you know, we're going to try it out anyway. So the other lip product I got is the Technic Liquid Lipstick Nude Edition in the shade number 3, Chiquita Bonita, and this is literally like a dark vampy brown, so don't go with the lip liner, but we're gonna put them both on anyway. I guess we'll do this the sort of ombre way and go in with the dark colour around the outer part and then the lighter one in the middle, I guess. I guess we're going with the lighter shade now. I mean, smells not too bad. I mean, it's effective, it's pigmented, it shows up, it's not like too drying, like it's quite creamy and easy to apply, so I guess that works. I don't know if this is the sort of thing I'd want to wear on its own, like definitely not this look anyway. I feel like that would be a good base for a more kind of nude lip colour, but we're going to use this chocolatey one instead. Ooh, this is like proper chocolate chip colour. That applied really nicely, super smooth. It's not too thick either, it kind of just glides on really like lightweight. It doesn't feel like too sticky, but it seems like it is going to dry down, so I'll just let it do that for a little while. Right, so I kind of let that dry a little bit. It just kind of settled a little bit weirdly. I don't know. I don't know about the formula of that. It looks really pretty though, super opaque. I can kind of feel it there now. Like it felt like lightweight going on, but now that I've kind of left it there, it's starting to feel a bit heavier. But it does look really pretty, the colour. So this is our finished look. I mean, kind of hate it, but it's a look. So there you go. I obviously am not happy with how it turned out, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like the makeup products. Well, I mean, I definitely don't like some of them, that's for sure. Products I do like though, first of all, the highlighters, like they were super blinding, super stunning. I feel like they could make really nice eyeshadows as well. I can't wait to try those out on my like regular base. Mascara actually isn't too bad, like there's some decent volume there. I do feel like the eyeshadows have got potential. I don't feel like maybe they're super consistent, but there's definitely some really nice shades in there. Like in particular this metallic kind of bronzy silvery shade was gorgeous, like super pretty. And obviously the glitz eyeshadow that I put on with that, really nice. Like I just feel like the main base of the lid looks super stunning. And some of the mattes were nice, some of them were a little bit like kind of lackluster, but I will play around with this palette some more. I feel like it does have potential, just maybe not like a very, just might be a few little inconsistencies in there. I feel like the bronzing palette was pretty good too. Eyebrow products, really not feeling the eyebrows at all. It just it just too thick, too splodgy. We'll try them out again, we'll try and get them to work. I will try the pencil out on its own without this gel. I feel like the gel is just probably not going to work for me. Foundation did not like. The concealer I feel like has potential. I will want to try out the concealer again, definitely. Powder is just way too dark, way too orange. There's just no way I can get away with that colour. I just can't. Yeah, very mixed thoughts on this. I feel like it's a bit 50-50 of whether I liked it or whether I didn't. So probably not my favourite testing video. I feel like it's probably gone the worst out of all of the ones I've done. But there was a few nice products in here, definitely worth doing, yes. But that's it for this video. It's all I've got to say, it's all I want to say, because I'm just stressed out looking at my face. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.